Hi, my name is Adeni Adekunle. We're still talking about work as God intended, and on the third session today, I want to talk about working without a job. Um, by nature of what I do, I get to meet a lot of people who, the challenge a lot of time is that they don't have anything they are doing. There's no job. I talk to this both university graduates, people who have done, even at postgraduate level. There's no job this, there's no job this, there's no job that. I met a young man a couple of months ago, and he was in some dire situation, financially challenges with accommodation, feeding, and all that. And I said, "What exactly is the issue?" And he said, "Listen, sir, we want to work, but there's actually no job for us to do." The truth is I don't think there's any economy that can employ all their young people or all their unemployed people. I don't think there's any economy on earth that can take everybody off the street and provide jobs for them. So there might not be jobs for everybody, but I think there's more than enough work for everybody. Again, if you remember the definition I gave last week, the last time we spoke about job and work, you might not have something to do that will give you a salary and a pay, but you obviously would always have something to do that will help you become a better person, that will help you release your potential. I had a young man who years ago did not have a job, and he went to a company and offered to work for free. And in the process of working for free, they found out that what he was doing was quite important to them. And in the process of working for free, he did not have a job there, he simply had to work, because remember, a job is what you do for a salary, for a pay, for a wage. But this young man was working for free, go there with his own money, come back with his own money, but he was getting experience and he was becoming better. So that at some point, the owner of the business called him and said, "Listen, we're going to offer you a job and I'm going to pay you this." From there, he moved on to another place. From there, moved on to another place. And today, he's well established in another larger company. So it's possible that when there is no job, there is always work. I also heard about the story of a young man who was living in an estate, and these, some of these estates, particularly in Lagos, they don't have enough parking, so the cars park on the streets overnight. So very early in the morning, between 4:30 and 5:30, this young man wakes up in the morning and he will just start washing all the cars, washing all the cars, washing all the cars, and washing all the cars. And people wake up, they see their cars washed and all that and all that and all that. And a few people began to give him money. After a while, they knew that it was something he was doing because he had no job, and people began to pay him. In fact, some of them will actually, when they come, they leave their key with him so he can go into the car, clean up and all that, and give them the keys in the morning. After a while, the estate made arrangement and said, "Listen, let's create a section of this estate where this guy can have a car wash." And the guy began his car wash business from there. And I understand today he said he has about 2 or 3 other centers around the city. So he never had a job, but he understood that you can always work without a job. You see, the economy we are living in today, nothing is stable. You have a job today, it's not guaranteed tomorrow, but you can always have work to do. There's a story in the Bible I like talking about. It's the story of what they normally call the prodigal son. I don't like calling him the prodigal son. The Bible says he took money from his father, he took his wealth, and he went to a far country and he expended everything on wasteful living. The Bible says that after a while he began to become in want, and he went and hired out himself to somebody so that he could work to get food to eat. And I guess that's the same mistake a lot of us make. We hire out ourselves. You give yourself, you should hire out your services. You should hire, but never hire out yourself. And it's only your work that can take everything about you. God never designed man to hire out himself for anything. And the moment you understand that, listen, I always have somewhere I can deploy myself for work. Now, I might not be able to deploy myself for a job to get salary, but there's always work to do. In Lagos, security issues, there's traffic congestion, there's a menace of buses that park anywhere on the road, all sorts of things that you could always get something to do. Now, because of the kind of society we are living in now, the moment you start, somebody might feel what exactly is he or she looking for, and they might not trust you. But after a while, they see the genuineness of intention. I believe people will begin to respond to you by giving you some form of support, either financial or some other opportunity to do the work you are doing as a job. So let's stop giving excuses that there is no job. I agree, there might not be jobs for anybody or everybody, but there is nobody that does not have the opportunity at some point or some place to provide some form of service as work. There's an uncle that you know that has his time is filled up already with his job. You can wash his clothes, you can clean up his house, you can get his car and all these things. Now we look at these things that they are too mundane. But believe me, when it comes to work, nothing is too low. What God gave Adam to do was a garden to take care of. Some of us will look at it and say, oh, it's too low for us. But the principle of work is this. It's not about the kind of work you are doing. It's the fact that you are releasing your potential to gain purpose. So remember, there might not be a job for everybody, but everybody has some form of work to contribute to. Next week again, we'll discuss in further details how we can now connect our work and see how we can get some level of income into it. Thank you very much for your time again. And again, Adeni Adekole. God bless you.